What's up, citizens of Gotham? My name is Graham Elwood. You are watching the Political Vigilante Progressive Comedy Tour coming to the Gulf States, March 10th through the 13th. March 10th, Lafayette, Louisiana. The 11th, Oxford, Mississippi. The 12th, Pensacola, Florida. And the 13th, New Orleans. Get your tickets at grahamelwood.com. Also, April 12th through the 15th, we are going to Texas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. Get your tickets at grahamelwood.com. Stay in Your Lane show at the Corbin Bowl, March 23rd. That's in Tarzana. Come out for that. And go to the Patreon, guys, because of Patreon, I've improved this studio, and I'm now, in this next month, going to be getting better lighting. Not that I don't like the ghoulish haunted house lighting that we have. A little better lighting, you know, make my moneymaker pop a little bit. You know what I'm saying, kids? So recently, we've talked about Julian Assange in the past. So what has happened is Australia has now granted him a passport, which is curious because Australia has a kind of weird thing. They won't acknowledge that the United States is charging one of their citizens with a crime. Australian government has been pretty sort of like, well, I don't know, it's not really our problem. It's like one of your citizens is being targeted, so you need to do something. So and this article is in MintPress News, and I'll put the link in the show notes. And the question is being asked, what is going to happen? Why is this? Are they like finally going to back Julian Assange and support a free press and support a journalist that all he did was just get information and put it on WikiLeaks? And people say, oh, WikiLeaks is a Russian. First of all, it's not wiki hacks. Julian Assange doesn't get on his computer and hack Hillary Clinton's no. And if you go to WikiLeaks, there's hundreds of documents that were released that are about Russia and about Trump and the Republican Party and the Democratic, it's preposterous. So this article is asking, and I'm asking the same question, is this a tactic to just try to get him out and get him in Australia so they'll give him over to the United States government? On February 21st, 2019, the Sydney Morning Herald reported that Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade issued Julian Assange a new passport, despite the fact that officials had reservations about doing so. According to the article, last year, officials stated that Assange's entitlement to a passport might be affected by an arrest warrant in connection with a serious foreign offense. Section 13 of the Australian Passports Act. This is curious. This just seems like they're doing whatever they can, and America wants this guy badly, right? So, Australia's abysmal record on supporting Australian journalist publisher Julian Assange became clear in 2010 when WikiLeaks published Cablegate, a collection of U.S. diplomatic cables that in its entirety spans over 35 years and includes over 270 U.S. embassies, consulates, and diplomatic missions around the world. At the time, the Australian government established a whole-of-government WikiLeaks task force similar in nature to the 2010 U.S. WikiLeaks task force that was created to make an inventory of the leaked cables and to report on their impact. Well, we know what the American government wants to do with him. They all have said it.
High-tech terrorists.
Cyber terrorists. Information terrorism.
Shut it down. We're going to hang you.
Use a drone or something.
A bullet in the brain.
Illegally shoot the son of a...
Information warfare is warfare. And Julian Assange is engaged in warfare. Information terrorism, which leads to people getting killed, is terrorism. And Julian Assange is engaged in terrorism. He should be treated as an enemy combatant. WikiLeaks should be closed down permanently and decisively.
Should the United States do something to stop Mr. Assange?
We're looking at that right now. The Justice Department is taking a look at that. I would argue that it's closer to being a high-tech terrorist than the Pentagon Papers.
This disclosure is not just an attack on America's foreign policy interests. It is an attack on the international community.
The head of WikiLeaks is not a particularly credible source in my mind. He is a, you know, to me, in my mind, he's a criminal, and he ought to be hunted down and grabbed and put on trial for what he has done here.
I think the man is a high-tech terrorist. He's done enormous.
Assange.
Yeah. He needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and if that becomes a problem, we need to change the law.
Well, I think Assange should be assassinated, actually. I think Obama should put out a contract and maybe use a drone or something.
You don't want to act panicked and have the
Well, you don't have to
President
act
of the United
panic. You
States.
can act tough and say, if we catch you, we're going to hang you.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
whatever.
we heard some of that from Holder.
Julian Assange is a cyber terrorist in wartime. He's guilty of sabotage, espionage, crimes against humanity. He should be killed.
How is it? How is it that the WikiLeaks guy remains free? You know, back in the old days when men were men and countries were countries, this guy would die of lead poisoning from a bullet in the brain, and nobody would know who put it there.
The way to deal with this is pretty simple. We got special ops forces. I mean, a dead man can't leak stuff. This guy's a traitor, a treasonous, and he has broken every law of the United States. The guy ought to be, and I'm not for the death penalty, so if I'm not for the death penalty, I only want to do it, illegally shoot the son of a...
It's time that the Obama administration treats WikiLeaks for what it is, a terrorist organization whose continued operation threatens our security. Shut it down. Shut it down. It is time to shut down this terrorist organization, this terrorist website, WikiLeaks. Shut it down, Attorney General Holder.
So doing journalism donate. Go to WikiLeaks to donate. I'm going to just leave that one up there for a little bit. This is, look at that. Republicans and Democrats, kill him, kill him, kill him, murder, murder, murder. He's an enemy combatant. He's a terrorist. Here's how WikiLeaks works, guys. Whistleblowers give stuff to Julian Assange to WikiLeaks. Well, not him now, but it's completely vetted. To my knowledge, the number of retractions that WikiLeaks have published is 0. They never give up their sources. And he's been calling out all sides, both parties, all governments, and they got to kill him because he's like, ha ha. They just said it, kill him. Joe Biden, he's going to run for president, it sounds like. Hillary, she probably might run again. So now Australia just gave him a passport. And when then Prime Minister Julia Gillard was confronted with a question about senior figures in the United States calling for Assange's assassination, Gillard effectively ignored the question, responded with the government's usual rhetoric. The Australian government cannot interfere in the judicial process. Meow, 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 meow. We'll do whatever America tells us to. Peter Greste is an Australian journalist who was arrested by Egyptian authorities in 2013 and then charged and sentenced to 7 years in prison on terrorism-related charges, in this case, reporting. At the time of Greste's arrest, Julie Bishop indulged the public with the government's usual rhetoric. It's not possible for another nation to interfere with the criminal proceeding. Blah, 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 blah. However, she added she will continue to press our position that he should be given conditional release, that we consider what more we can do to seek release overall. So that guy they help. The guy that the Egyptians are holding, that guy they help. Julian Assange, now. Because he's pissed off the American war machine that owns both parties and all the... Look at that. It was all the different channels. Fox, MSNBC, they're all, war, murder him. Rush Limbaugh. It's always great when a fat drug addict is calling for murder. So with Australia's long-standing history of denying any evidence that suggests the U.S. has charged their own citizen, taking a backseat to historical attacks against a journalist, encouraging their own citizen to risk extradition to the United States, failing to do all that, it can help Assange get home, and engaging in standardized rhetoric while taking a passive stance in Assange's case in order to remain in the employ of the United States. One has to wonder why Australia's reissued Assange a passport and whether it's really safe for him to go home at all. My opinion, it's a scam. They're trying to get him. They've starved him out. They've broken into the Ecuadorian Embassy. That's what they're trying to do. Don't trust it. I don't trust them. Don't trust the Five Eyes, baby. Put this out there. Let people know. Listening to journalists say he should be murdered is unbelievable. Should we murder Bill O'Reilly? Megyn Kelly, she's at MSNBC now. Joy-Ann Reid. You challenge the war machine, you challenge the deep state, they come after you. They come after you. So he's a threat, so he's got to die in their eyes. That's why you guys don't watch your news on the filthy cable channels. You watch it here. In a comedian's apartment in front of lighting that's not fantastic. Because I don't have Boeing as a sponsor, or Raytheon, or Shell, or Pfizer, or any of those other assholes. I got you folks. So thanks for supporting me. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. Watch the ads all the way through, because when you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Go to GrahamElwood.com. You can donate there through PayPal, through my P.O. box. You can buy a Make Gotham Great Again shirt. There's a lot of ways to support the show. And if you're tight on money, share the videos, push them out on social media, all that stuff. Wake people up. The more people that are watching, the better. This show had 164 subscribers 2 years ago. Now it's got almost 17,000. Thanks for watching.